Clerk, the time is 6:22. I'm going to call a special meeting of council to order. Town of Aurora acknowledges that the Anishinaabe lands on which we live and work are the traditional and treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island, as well as many other nations whose presence here continues to this day. As the closest First Nation community to Aurora, we recognize the special relationship the Chippewas have with the lands and waters of this territory. They are the water protectors and environmental stewards of these lands, and as a municipality, we join them in these responsibilities. We further acknowledge that Aurora is part of the treaty lands of Mississaugas and Chippewas recognized through Treaty Number 13, as well as the Williams Treaties of 1923. Shared understanding of the rich cultural heritage that has existed for centuries and how our collective past brought us to where we are today will help us walk together into a better future. Council, can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Councillor Weiss, second by Councillor Thompson. Comments, questions? Call the vote. Councillor Weiss? Yes. Councillor Weiss is yes. I did. That carries. Any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, no delegations. We have one item. Aurora Economic Development Corporation Annual Report 2022. And we have a presentation to be provided by Mayor Lee Harris, the chair of the Aurora Economic Development Corporation. Mayor Lee, welcome. Floor is yours.
I was told to worry about this. Yes. Thank you for having us here today. You all know Lisa. She's our amazing guru of economic development, part of the economic development team here at the town. A presentation I will go through, and I'm actually going to read some notes because I think it's important. So if we could have the first slide up. Oh, okay, got it. So with council's approval in early 2022, we now have a 13-member board comprised of 10 members of the public, 1 from the Chamber of Commerce and 2 elected officials. Mayor Maracas and Councillor Gilland are currently members of the board. And our thanks to Councillor Thompson, because you were one of our originals. We had Councillor Harold Kim on with us. And of course, Mayor Maracas, you've been there from the very beginning on this board, from concept to now. We're supported extremely well by Doug Notarasti. And I never say your name properly, but I know you're number one in our hearts. Mayor Maracas, of course, has been very supportive of this board. In addition, we have Marco, who is here and a big supporter of the economic development portfolio. We have Lisa House, who is manager of economic development and planning. And we also have a new economic development officer in the person of Angela Hayes. Lisa's here tonight because she did all the work, and I'm just going to read the words here. We'll go to the third slide. December 18th, 2018, council passed a bylaw for a board to be organized, and the actual AEDC board works to establish the current economic development strategic plan and future updates for the town. Provides advisory services to the town through feedback and input into the various strategies and projects. Provides strategic leadership and coordination by supporting the town staff in local economic initiatives, And we work with partners using our networks to provide meaningful engagement to support investment, attraction, business retention, and expansion. Slide 4. The purpose of the AEDC is we're responsible for working with the community stakeholders to develop and maintain an economic development strategy for the town of Aurora to guide economic development activities and investment over the short, medium, and long term. Those are words. The reality is we had a strategic plan. We worked on it as a board with the town. We had input from all the stakeholders in the community. We, from there, prioritized priority tactics and outcome that we felt was most appropriate to drive economic growth. Those tactics devolved and it evolved into a variety of tactics. And when Lisa came on board, and only because of Lisa, she was able to pull together what the town needed from a strategic plan point of view, economic driving activities, what as a municipality you have an obligation to pull together from a reporting and monitoring point of view. And she put this into a matrix where we could all understand the breadth and scope of work that our only two economic development dedicated employees are focused on delivering for all of us. And I want to make an editorial comment at this point. As counselors, you're here and you're the voice of the residences in Aurora. And if there's one thing residences in Aurora want to avoid at all cost is an increase in their taxes. Well, one of the key and most important ways that we can manage to provide services for the town, manage what our residential tax rate needs to be to fund that, is we need businesses to be paying taxes into the coffers. And if we don't maintain that healthy balance that has been our history, so we've got a good track record, but it's critical that we develop and attract businesses so that we can manage the cost ratio and ensure that the residences, and then quite frankly, the people who vote for you are minimally impacted by cost, but have the maximum service delivery. So the economic development portfolio is critical to your ability to do a satisfactory job. That's my little preach here. Number 6. In terms of investment attraction bucket, we've accomplished a great deal since we've been formed, and we plan to host delegations, tours, and other invitational programs now that COVID is over and we have a more robust environment in which to engage many of the commercial public people who could be interested in Aurora. Slide number 7. We want to attract businesses, but we certainly want to make sure that we have the existing businesses thriving and doing as well as possible. We don't have a lot of extra land anymore for having new businesses come in, but we need new businesses constantly, but we need the existing businesses we do have in the community to continue to thrive. In the business support bucket for our key activities, we plan the early stages of networking and use the Emerging Aurora campaign to build awareness in this area. The tasks in progress are business visitations, outreach programming, as well as formalizing a plan for a business entrepreneurial growth expansion support program. Next slide. Downtown revitalization, as we know, is at the core of all of our desires from a robust economic survival, quite frankly, point of view. We've made great strides in supporting many initiatives coming out of the pandemic, such as an asset review, business surveys, and data collection. The information will help the board support further revitalization in the downtown, particularly those initiatives that support safety, increased foot traffic, and new business in the area. And the last area of focus for the board, slide 9, is workforce development. We are focusing on partnerships and collaborations to support staff in bringing forward innovative programs to attract and retain the talent our business community needs. Slide 10. we're an advisory body. This board is an advisory body, and we're an advisory body for the town. We're an advisory body for council. We are the people who have the time, the commitment, the passion, and the professional expertise to weigh, consider, network, and give some really good counsel back to you on business development initiatives that may be a whim. Let us do some of the work to help give you some feedback. We are anxious to work in collaboration with council on thoughts and ideas, not merely rubber stamping a number of reports and activities that are important and need to be done. But you've got a strong team on your board, and I think that we're ready and eager to help you in any way from a council point of view. You think that the town can be more helpful. We're here with that expertise. Slide 11, Emerging Aurora campaign. I have to give Lisa, again, huge accolades, because she worked with the board, with data points that we were able to gather. And she has put together an amazing Emerging Aurora marketing approach and put together key messages that matter to the target businesses that we want to attract to this town. And she worked with businesses in this town, in that target sector, to understand what they need and care about so that we can package those messages and make them relevant to attracting new business. This town has never had the kind of outreach communication in my experience, and I've been here for 33 years. The quality of it, the targeted nature of it, and the response we're getting from it is very much a result of the collaboration of council, town staff, and the board working with the right data. And we have a lot of energy going on, and we've got a lot of capacity to do more. Slide 12, event schedule. There's a few items listed on the presentation here, but we have a number of events planned. And again, and I'm looking at Mayor Maracas with this, you know, the energy that we've been able to bring to the table outside of our community, within York Region, within the GTA, at a provincial level. We are giving the mayor and we're giving council ammunition to promote and engage businesses about why Aurora is an excellent place for them to come and thrive. And I don't think we've ever provided the tools for public servants to be able to go at the messaging as cohesively as you've been able to do now. We've got a messenger who's very good at delivering those messages. We've had a lot of crises in our world that provides a forum for people to want to listen and understand, what can we do to make things better? We've got a team, and the team is council, staff, and the Economic Development Board. And that triangle has a lot of power, and we look forward to bringing more to the table as the year goes on. And at this point, I've concluded my message. Can I answer any questions?
Absolutely. Thank you, Marilee. Before I get to that, I'm just going to read the recommendation and ask for questions to the report and to the presentation. So the recommendations that report number PDS 23-055 be received. 2, that the Aurora Economic Development Corporation Director's Report attached here to as attachment 1 be received. 3, that the requirements regarding the appointment and duties of the auditor be exempted for the financial year. 4, that council appoint the following individual to the Aurora Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors for a term of 3 years. And the name is Dr. Nima Kadim Motaram. And 5, that council authorize staff to update the Aurora Economic Development Corporation's terms of reference to reflect council's direction. Someone like to move that recommendation? Councillor Weiss, second. Councillor Gardner, thank you. Comments or questions to the presentation or to the report? Councillor Thompson.
Thank you, Marilee, for being here and for the presentation. And certainly thank you for all the work that you and all members of the board do on an ongoing basis. You speak of many of us around the table, but let's not forget that you are not only been actively involved in the Economic Development Corporation, but also a member of EDAC many years ago as well. And so
Yes.
appreciate your longstanding commitment to the town. I certainly echo the comments that all members of the board, they have tremendous passion and expertise that they bring to the table, and that over the years they provided a great resource for us at council, as well as for staff, from an advisory perspective, as well as from strategic leadership. And we need to engage and utilize them more. We need to find more ways to get them actively involved in the decision-making process, because I think that the input and feedback that they provide us is very valuable. So through you, Mr. Mayor, to Marilee, are there any current initiatives that you're aware of that the town is working on that perhaps we haven't reached out to AEDC to get you more involved or get your input, that the board as a whole would like to be involved in, that you're aware of?
Marilee?
Thank you. I would have answered this differently a couple of years ago, but I'm very comfortable. And I'm speaking on behalf of all the board. We have Mayor Maracas, we have Doug, always giving us an update on a monthly basis about what's going on in the town and what's deemed to be topical. So I think we feel included. And I think it took us a while to get to that point. And I compliment the council and Doug for making sure that we are asked and informed as appropriate. We respect the fact that there's a confidentiality issue that needs to be managed, but we can go into closed session and deal with more sensitive matter. I think the only suggestion I would make, and it's been alluded to in previous meeting anyway, but as we move forward with the Aurora Town Square, I think that we as a board feel that there is a huge opportunity to energize and make programming and what goes on in that space and place iconic. Our standards are high. And if we have a concern, and if we could maybe be helpful in addressing this concern, it's that building the buildings, I'm sorry, it's the easy part. Actually developing programming, attracting events, making that a buzz place, including there's a cafe space, but maybe that needs to be a 24-hour nightclub, not overly limiting what that space could be providing. We as a commercially minded board really feel there's a huge opportunity to just go big on the kind of programming and activities that we look to have happen, because otherwise it's just space. And we think we could bring a little more energy. We have a lot of energy
Councilor?
to that topic.
Thank you, and certainly welcome that input. I think, we all agree. We've made the investment. We want to see it successful long-term. We want to see those benefits that we all envisioned materialize. And so, certainly I'll add my voice to Lisa and Doug and try and get more activity on the agenda with regards to the town square for AEDC. So
Great.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
You. Councilor Weiss?
Thank you. And thanks for the presentation, Marilee. I'm so confident of the work that you do because of the knowledge, skill, and expertise that you all have, plus the passion that you have in the positions. My question is on the corollary to what Councillor Thompson is. And when you look at threats and weaknesses that you have, are there any barriers that you see right now that can be overcome, that can be done relatively easy? I like the blue sky vision that you have, but do you perceive anything that can be broomed out of the way, that can be where you can be enabled?
Marilee?
Enabled as a board?
Yes. Through you, Mayor.
No, I think that we are well-tooled, well-structured and ready. So I don't have any sense as a board that we have anything but cooperation and willingness on all 3 points. So from a board threat or worry point of view, there's nothing. If you're talking about from an economic development headwind for the town, we wouldn't have no more to bring to the table at this point than any other business, any other community in the broad world of financial markets and environment and all the things that are all on everybody's mind. What I will say, and given that you've asked, I think specifically within, again, I'm going to say the downtown core because I find it's the right icon of where we can see tangible results. As I said, there's not a lot more space to put in businesses, but if we can build on the strategy of trying to revitalize that downtown core, it will do nothing but enhance the businesses that are there. And there's a real struggle with what types of businesses are there. And if there's any way we can help navigate and influence so that types of businesses we have in our downtown core are the types of businesses that good retailers and good business people want to support, that would be a huge improvement. And I have to tell you, I'm thinking of Spark Cannabis
Councillor.
inhibiting business.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Councillor Gardner.
Thank you. I missed the last few words
I'm the last few words about threats
that
downtown.
you just said.
Sparks Cannabis.
Spark Cannabis in its adjacency to some good retailers is a negative impact on those businesses. And I don't know what the answer is from a council point of view, from a town point of view, but I know as a business-minded person, you need to have the right mix in order to have the right outcome. And we're struggling with the mix. And if there's any way we can improve what that mix looks like, we will be doing nothing but everybody a favor, including the residents of downtown.
Councillor.
Thank you. Well, I think everybody has said what I was thinking. And thank you so much for your work and everybody else's work. And I think you said the board or the corporation brings energy, brings experience, knowledge. And Lisa.
And Lisa. Yes.
So it's a really wonderful combination. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Kim.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Mayor Lee, for your leadership over the years. And during the time that I served, I was amazed, especially the target sector analysis, which you had a lot to do with. It was at the highest level of quality and professionalism, and the board still use that work today, I'm sure, and we'll use it for many years to come. So appreciate your involvement in that. And the Small Business Continuity Task Force, which we were fortunate to be involved with. And it's the first such board or committee where we actually, instead of just serving as a board and giving advice or giving our perspective, really rolled up their sleeves to interact and assist with local residents and businesses. So anyway, thank you for your leadership, and it was a great pleasure working with all of you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none before I call the vote. Mayor Lee, thank you very much for coming. Obviously, echo sentiments across the table. The work that the board has done, and especially yourself as well. You were vice chair before, now you're chair. Your leadership is tremendous on our board, and we appreciate all the work that you do. And I know that you have a passion for the town, just as all of us do. And you expect nothing less than the best out of all of us. And so, but that is what pushes us to drive for excellence within our town. And so we appreciate that. And I know that we're looking at some incredible things as we continue to move forward in a positive direction. And I know that the work that the board's going to do and continue to do is going to elevate us and help with that, our businesses to begin to thrive instead of just surviving. And so that's what we're all striving for. And I know we're going to get there through the work of the board, council, and the community as well, and all our businesses. So I thank you, and I thank you for this. And I'm actually looking forward to the time where we get to that point where we initially envisioned this board to be, which is we give you a little bit more than having to come to council all the time, and you guys start to make some really strategic decisions. So I think we'll get there sooner rather than later. So
Thank you, Mayor Maracas. And just in closing, there's 13 people on this board. I appreciate your personal compliments, but there are 13 people on the board, variety of backgrounds. Vern Cunningham is leaving the board because he was one of our inaugural, and he's finished his term. He's done a great job. Everybody else is with us, and our newest member of the board has a PhD. Thank you very much. So we're getting stronger and deeper in our breadth of expertise. So thank you for the time. Bye.
Thank you, Marilee. Council, I'll call a vote. Councilor Gardner is a yes. Councilor Weiss? Councilor Weiss is a yes. I did it too. Huh. That carries. Confirming bylaw. Someone like move that? Councilor Kim, second. Councilor
Second confirming bylaw.
Thompson, thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. Motion to adjourn. Councilor Thompson, Councilor Gilliland, all those in favor? Opposed? That carries. We are adjourned. Thank you. Should we do, can we do close now? No, we have to do it.